Visiting Thailand? Who's looking after your travels? This Friday, I'm with Andre van den Marck, founder and CEO of Travel Exclusive Asia Thailand. We're talking tour operating in Thailand. We're at the library of the Siam Hotel in Bangkok, a super luxurious hotel riverside, and you are watching Trends.
Good morning, David.
Good morning, Andre. Please share with us the journey that you took to bring us Travel Exclusive Asia Thailand.
It's a long story which actually began in 1993 when I did my internship from the Hotel School The Hague here in Phuket. Never been in Asia before. Loved the country, loved the people, the atmosphere, everything. Finished, graduated, and I was in a period when jobs were not as plenty around as they are at the moment. So then I kind of decided, like, okay, we'll stay in the Netherlands, where I'm originally from, will be a challenge, and I saw opportunities in Thailand. So I decided to fly back after graduation and came back beginning of '94 and started to work in a hotel in Phuket, which used to be called Club Andaman Beach Resort, is now I think Andaman Brace with the Holiday Inn Express in the front, and that's how it all started. Then I stayed 6 years in Thailand, did Phuket and Samui, worked for hotels only, and then in '99 went back to the Netherlands and started to work with a tour operator called Kuoni, originally Swiss owned. Unfortunately, after 100 plus years, it was sold to the German Rewe Group a few years ago. Worked with them in the tour operating department, taking care of Southern Asia, Southeast Asia. So I was very lucky to be able to travel up and down between the Netherlands and the area where I fell kind of in love with, this part of the world. So after that, that was about 6-7 years. And then in 2007, the company asked me to come to the Bangkok and to start to set up a central purchasing office within the DMC of Asian Trails, which at that time Kuoni had bought a few years before. And that's how I came back again, but then it was Bangkok, which was new to me because I'd never lived in a city this big, a huge metropole. Comparing the Netherlands with Bangkok is almost one-on-one, you know, same amount of inhabitants, so it was quite a challenge initially. So that started in 2007. Worked with them for a few more years. After 10 years, Kuoni, I saw it coming, that it was going down and a lot of people were leaving, and eventually they were all right, so it was sold, and then started to work at the DMC side for a few companies, amongst others ICS and Khiri Travel. Did that for a few years, and then I thought I'm ready to do it myself. So then 1st April 2016 I opened up my own company. So that's how it all started, which is now almost 8 years ago. Take away 2 years of COVID, 6 years of hard work.
Where are your geo-source markets? Where are your customers coming from? You're Dutch, so is Netherlands like the core of your business?
It used to be, it originally did. When I started, I talked to one of my still current partners. They were very supportive. They helped me set up the company, not in terms of legalities, but they trusted in me and saying, okay, we give you the business, show it to us, prove to us that you can help us grow in Thailand, which we did. We started in 2016 with around 400 passengers. This year we probably do 2,500 with that one customer, which means that it's a good growth, and it also shows that we take, I think, really well care of our partners in Europe. So the Netherlands grew steadily, but then of course you have to be careful that you're not just focusing on one geo market. So we expanded into the Benelux, Belgium, Germany, UK as well, bit of Australia, and what do you say, that the USA? Yeah.
The market's very saturated. There's a lot of tour operators offering ground operations in Thailand. What makes Travel Exclusive Asia Thailand stand out from the rest? What's been your vision and mission when setting up the company and where you want to be?
Honestly, it's quite simple, because even with a beautiful hotel like this, I always say you can build a hotel if you have the money. You can start up a DMC if you have the money, or you have partners helping you to start it up. So with that in mind, I still do believe, and it still works for us today, it's all about very much personal care, taking care of not only the people in the country while they're traveling with us, which at the moment is a lot, so there's a lot of things happening in the office, but also the partners overseas, help them grow the program, see them quite regularly, not only at trade shows, but also go there, sales visits, go through the programs, why is this not working, what should we do, looking at competition, and together as a team, together with our partners overseas and us, grow their business into Thailand. And the personal care, as an example, we have a mobile emergency phone number which I've just shut off, but it's still with me. So all the people still call me. I'm on WhatsApp with most of our partners, either it be owners or product managers. So it's a very fast shifting of, okay, we have emergency here, we have emergency there, can you help, can you assist? And I think that works and goes a long way. Obviously, your product has to be great. You have to take care of pricing, has to be fair, in line with what you're offering. You don't price yourself out of the market, but it doesn't have to mean that it needs to be cheap. So that is something, the personal touch, and constantly in search of new products, new areas that we can start to sell towards these source markets. But that's difficult because we know that Thailand has more than just the key Bangkok, Chiang Mai and all that. But it's very tough to convey that message to product managers who sometimes are stuck in a certain way, tunnel vision, and say, yeah, but you know, everyone wants to do this and this and this. Our competition does that, so we also have to offer. And that made us also work with smaller partners who are more adept to change their programs, to adapt to changing opportunities here in Thailand. So it's a combination of some larger partners, but also a lot of smaller personal ones where you can really quickly move and include new parts of Thailand, which is absolutely a necessity.
So your business model is B2B, it's not B2C.
Strictly.
Somebody's not coming to your website as an individual in Belgium or wherever and saying, book me a hotel.
No, that was a very obvious choice for me. Very simple reasons. One, I don't know much about direct marketing, so that would be a whole new métier for me, which I was not very interested in. I do not believe that you can mix those two different sales channels. You have to focus on either or. So for me, it was a very obvious choice to do with B2B, and I like that. For another reason, when you talk to overseas partners, let's say in Netherlands or America, and you have to talk directly to the client. The other day, we had people on our tour and they called us and said, we want to change the itinerary. Can we take the train tomorrow to Koh Tao? And I'm going like, okay, these kind of questions we will probably not get when you're working with a quite specialist partner overseas who will do all that sales and marketing effort for you and will screen the request initially, already talk to the guests and say, okay, this is possible, this is not, what is your budget and all. So all these preliminaries have been set by the tour operator, and then the request comes to us, and that's what we're very good at, and that's what we stay doing for the foreseeable future.
TEAT is promoting new emerging destinations in Thailand, but do you see that the customers are still going for the core product, the core classic Thai destinations, or are you seeing that people are now venturing out into new places?
As I just said, there are some new destinations coming up, and I really like what the TEAT is doing, and they should keep doing that because it is an issue in Thailand with all the millions and millions of people arriving, and they want to grow the numbers even more.
Well, that's true, because pre-COVID we were talking about 40 million tourist arrivals and the buzzword was over-tourism. Now we're talking 50 million in our sites. Can we achieve that in a sustainable way without going back to over-tourism? Is that possible?
That will be a huge challenge, I guess, for us as a private sector, together with a NGO like the TEAT, government officials. At the moment, there are already examples in certain destinations where there are some challenges. We had the flooding a few weeks ago in Phuket, where it then was reported that the drainage system is here and there just 60 centimeters wide on an island where there's a few million people visiting per year. We see the effects in Europe at the moment where local people are sick and tired. Greece, I just read yesterday, Spain for that matter, and people are protesting against tourists. That's something we do not want to happen in the future here. So I think it's an element that we, together with the government, try to start to disperse our guests and start to look at secondary cities and areas where we can spread the 50, 60, who knows, one day 70 million tourists coming to different areas of Thailand, and keep up with what's needed in terms of social responsibility, giving back to the local communities, infrastructure that needs to be adjusted, probably added, built. There's many examples, and I was just recently in Phuket in Bang Thao, which used to be 10 years ago a very nice, quaint little area of Phuket, where there now, I heard 20,000 condo units being added in 3 years with either Chinese or Russian signs, but the roads, or for that matter drainage system, nothing is being done. So how and where will that end? If we have to do something as a whole collective together.
I suppose really we should acknowledge and discuss the challenges rather than bury our head in the sand and say that it's business as usual and not plan for the future.
Totally agree. I think if we all keep our eyes shut and just want more and more and more, in the end we'll get stuck altogether. And then, you know, imagine one day the Thais might say we don't want this anymore, and they start to protest, and it comes on TV and all that. Then there's other countries ready to welcome them, right? So that's something we all do not want to happen, but we have to plan it wisely in the years to come, and that will take an effort with ATA, TEAT, Thai Hotel Associations, private investors, owners, DMCs, tour operators overseas alike. They will have to adapt different programs and start to sell secondary cities and try to convey that message to repeater guests, for example. A lot of people come back to Thailand many times in a row, don't go again to Phuket and, you know, the standard routes, but take a new route, go to the Isaan area, go and start to discover Mae Hong Son and Pai. But it's a bit of a vicious circle, right? Because if no one invests there and there's no good hotels to be offered, how can you start moving people there? So it's a bit chicken and the egg story. Who's going to go there first? You can tell the world, let's go to Pai and Mae Hong Son and let's push tipsy tubby tubing or whatever. But if by next year Pai gets, I don't know, a few 100,000 guests, there's not enough good quality hotels. So who's going to invest there first? So these are obvious questions that we need to ask ourselves.
Do you get travel requests for new emerging destinations, and then you're challenged with the fact there isn't the accommodation availability to support the requests? Have you come across
exactly that?
Yeah.
We do both. We do group series, which is voluminous,
yes,
versus individual FIT travel. And we see that very strongly, that for example with tours where you usually have 20, 25, 26 clients traveling together on a bus, we want to, for example, we've tried to include Pai Mae Hong Son, but also Phayao, Nan. When you fly to Nan, which is nice, you can do central part of Thailand, fly up to the north, come there, but how many good 4-star boutique properties are there that can give you 12, 15 rooms, guaranteed 10, 15 departures per year? They say they're picky because obviously, and I don't blame them, they want to serve the domestic Thai market during certain seasons, November, December, January, when it's a bit colder. A lot of Thai people go up north, which is of course a logic thing to do. So that's very difficult. So we want to go that way, but it comes back to supply, demand. It's a tough one, and it needs to be discussed, I guess, not only with, like I said before, with all stakeholders together, and probably more often than 1 or 2 meetings a year, and we all say, yeah, we should, but yeah, and also probably talk with the big boys, you know, the asset worlds of this world that have potential money to start building a good 4-star or minor group. Why not a nice Avani 18, 19 room 4-star property in Nan? Yeah.
Sustainability.
Yes.
Is that a driving force in Travel Exclusive Asia Thailand's operations?
Yes.
Are your partners asking for more sustainable travel? Where are we going with the S word?
With the S word, I like that. They do. Travel Life was originally founded in the Netherlands and in the UK. It's a worker together partnership between in the UK the UPTA, if I'm not mistaken, in the Netherlands called the ANVR. And they started this when I was already 10, 15 years ago. It was very small at the time. They said we want to do something for sustainability. So the UK part is taking care of cruise ships and hotels, and the Dutch part is taking care of DMC, supply chain, excursion supplies, etc. So that's a big thing. In Thailand, there is about 35, 40 DMCs who are Travel Life certified, which is the first step, which we been certified this previous ITB. We've worked on that last year very strongly.
What does that certification mean in real life? Can I travel Thailand with Travel Exclusive Asia Thailand sustainably reducing my carbon footprint, or is it just airy-fairy, no plastic water bottles and a few touches there?
Travel Life certification makes sure that your suppliers are ensured that you have the right contract agreements with your partners, that you do not go to the wrong elephant parks, if at all, no elephant riding. It's a thing where we also very much look at how do you employ your people. You have the right contracts for them in place, you follow the labor law in Thailand, what do you do in your own office in terms of reducing plastic waste, etc. The problem is a little bit that a lot of tour operators in Europe have all their own programs, so they already have carbon emission, pay an extra €5, and we have a carbon footprint for a reforestation project. A lot of tour operators already present bottles, reusable bottles, to their customers before traveling. A lot of customers now do have them already at home. Every kid walks around with a Doppler. So it also becomes a bit of an overkill, because every level in the chain is wanting to do the right thing. Before you know it, someone is arriving here with a bottle from home, a bottle from the tour operator, and a bottle that we supply. And for sure they will only take one home, so they will throw away 2 bottles as well, reusable ones. So it's not that easy. The next level will be a Travel Life partnership, which goes even further into the chain, where you really are obliged to check on every hotel that you work with, partner with. You have really very clear checklists. Okay, what do they do in the rooms? How do they treat their waste, their wastewater, kitchen, and all that? But that is a much longer process, because you will have to go and visit your suppliers. But I guess it's a very good right step. But in the end, we're in a travel business. If you look at the huge picture, and I feel that as a whole industry, we all have to find our ways to make it on overall better and better in terms of sustainability. Airlines have they're doing a huge thing, of course, the Boeings and Airbuses of this world, how to fly even more sustainable and more fuel efficient. Long way to go, but I think in the end we will get there. Give us another 10, 20 years in the industry. Cruise ships, are they one day going to sail instead of whatever they use now, diesel or whatever, on electrical cruise ships? But a lot of challenges. And it also means, again, like what we said earlier, where do we bring our guests, right? Over-tourism is part of sustainability, right? Like what happened in Venice, where now they finally say, okay, so many cruise ships per year. If you want more, that's it. We don't do that. Certain areas in Europe are doing that. Last year I was myself in Hallstatt. They were protesting. It's a city of 500 inhabitants, and I think 4 million people come to visit to make pictures. Yeah, these numbers are just crazy. So imagine living there, and you have 4 million people coming in 3 months summer to take these. I mean, I must say it's stunning. But you get the Instagram picture that everyone posts, right? And hashtag Hallstatt, and that's it. So yeah, we have to question ourselves, where do we go with this in the future? But it's a huge effort that we all have to do together.
AI impacting a lot of industries. Is it impacting your business?
To a certain extent. With our new back office IT system, there is a certain AI element in that, which will help us instantly translate itineraries into whatever language we want. I mean, English is our base language, but if a customer would ask us, okay, but it's easier for me to pass it on in Dutch, one click, boop, hop, and you can send it out. And that is just the beginning.
But AI can't replace the human touch. A great tour guide to show you around, reliable transportation. It still comes, we're in a people business, aren't we, in the tourism industry?
Number one, yes, it's all about that. It's personal touch, personal relationships, helping each other out. And until we have probably robots in the next 100 years that can do basically exactly what we can do as humans, you're absolutely right. It's all about having the best guide matched with that kind of type of traveler, whether they're family, honeymooners, young, old, active or not. If you match that right, the guide can give a fantastic experience, and that makes us kings in the end, right? So yeah, guides are ultimately 100% number one.
Now, the Travel Exclusive Asia brand, your Thailand, extends beyond Thailand, doesn't it? You've got other destinations within your group.
Also there, initially we wanted to do that all before COVID. We were on track for rapid growth. That all shut down, obviously. So now we have in March launched Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia together with a partner who people might remember. He used to be the managing director of Asian Trails Thailand, Yves van Kerrenbroek, and he has set up a shop over there. He's taking care of those 3 destinations. And last week we signed up a new partnership with a very great new destination, Indonesia. So yeah, we're right on track to have our 5 countries lined up. Myanmar was also in the plan. It still is very, very unfortunate, but hopefully one day we'll be able to set up office there as well.
Where should I go on holiday in Thailand this year? What's trending? What are your
You want to come with me?
Yeah, what are your 3 hot destinations at Travel Exclusive Asia Thailand?
That I would like to sell or that are being sold?
That you would like to sell?
That I'd like to sell are, then I'm talking about places like Nan, Phayao, the north, even a little bit of Isaan nowadays.
What makes them special?
Because you're away from over-tourism, from huge hordes, you have the local fare to eat, you have the true Thainess from the local people. Of course you have to travel with a guide because over there English is a challenge, but the people are so warm, so friendly. You can do great activities with kids. Pai Mae Hong Song are still very, very nice. But the real thing is that if you ask me what are the current hot destinations, we come back to the earlier conversation, and I can tell, of course everybody lands in either Bangkok, a few in Chiang Mai, but it's Bangkok, and everyone wants to go to Kanchanaburi and Chiang Mai and Khao Sok in this period of the year. We are starting to have bookings for next year summer, because people are very much aware that airfare is going up and up, so people are quite early in their bookings, and we have already hotels in Khao Sok and Kanchanaburi saying we're fully booked. Jungle Raft, certain areas, July, August, they're booked and they have 124 units. So it shows that people like to take off, which I understand in a way. I mean, if Asians go to Paris, I always say, and they want to go to the Eiffel Tower, they want to go to the Louvre, right? And if a guy would say, okay, I'll bring you to the backwaters, and say, yeah, but I want to see the Eiffel Tower first because, I want to have that famous selfie with the Eiffel Tower in the back. So I do understand it, but we as a DMC together with our partners really try our best to, especially for repeater clients, to say, oh, they've been in China? Okay, how about something totally new? And this will slowly become a bigger thing for sure.
If we could turn the clock back 8 years and you could meet your younger you who was about to set up Travel Exclusive Asia Thailand, would you say do it or don't do it?
My only regret is that I've started relatively late in life doing this what I'm doing and having but I mean in age I would have could have done it a few years earlier, but life is what it is. It brings you certain areas and certain moments in life. It was an opportunity.
It's reached your
It was the best decision ever, having your own team, your own company. No board meetings, you make decisions on the fly, let's go here, let's go there, let's do this, let's do that, this is the future plan. It's really, really liberating, and I would recommend it to everyone who's watching, especially if you're younger. Start your own company in whatever field it is.
I was impressed because when I'm working with my hotel client, I call into tour operators and update them. I called into your new office recently and was really impressed. What a great setup, IT-wise, in terms of also just the ambience, really good. And that's the heart of your Thailand operation.
It is. We're looking at probably expanding next year because some of our partners have asked if we could set up branch offices, so we're looking into that. I mean, also in terms of costing and when and where. But yeah, the office is great. It's a great vibe. We grow from 2 people after COVID to 18, number 19 coming. So it's a fantastic team, and it's really great to work with them. Because without them, I wouldn't be sitting here and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. So very grateful to them as well.
Andre, keep up the great work with Travel Exclusive Asia Thailand and your footprint beyond within the group in Southeast Asia. Thanks so much for coming here today.
Most welcome. Thank you very much, David.
And thank you for watching this episode of Trends. See you next Friday.